Hi guys, I've come out today along with Pradeep. As you guys know, Pradeep owns a KTM 390 Adventure. So after riding it around a little bit, got really tempted to own that beautiful machine. So came to KTM to take a test ride of the bike, and truly impressed with its capabilities, and still exploring to pick it up. So while we do that, we are today at Lal Bagh, which is the botanical garden which is in Bangalore, and you can see amazing view of the lake here. So very peaceful and serene environment. So topic here, what we want to cover is what we discussed last week around the Interceptor, what we owned and why we sold our Interceptors. That's the major topic here. So guys, let's get into the topic with respect to Interceptor. So we have legendary Pradeep here. Hi Pradeep. So guys, let's move in. So we have made the points, and so that we don't miss out on any points today, and try to cover and give our holistic view about the Interceptor and why we sold them, right? So
as usual, I like to come always with a bit of preparation because I am not very good at freestyling. So I like to prepare my notes and come, because we are really respectful about all of your times that you put in to watch our videos. So we want to make sure that we cover all the points without missing anything. So I have made a list of 5 good points about the Interceptor, and more than 5 bad points that I didn't like. Again guys, these are all mine. One guy in the entire universe not liking it doesn't mean that it's the universal truth. So keep that in mind. So I will talk about the good things and the bad things, and Vinay, wherever you want to add any further context or color to what I'm saying, you can stop me and you can
sure Pradeep,
add all these things.
Go ahead.
So the first good point I think is the price factor. So the value for money. Undeniably, the price at which you are getting a modern 650cc twin in today's market cannot be disputed. 3 lakh, sub 3 lakhs plus or minus depending on where you are buying it, for a 650cc parallel twin, a super bike as we like to call it in India. At that price, value for money proposition is hard to beat. But the flip side of this so-called sweet pricing factor is the fact that it makes it a lot more accessible to everybody. So that aspirational factor, or that coveting factor of a super bike sort of goes away, because 3 lakhs a lot more people can afford to pay than 6 lakhs or 7 lakhs. So that's the flip side of the price. So that is something to be borne in mind. Having said that, I think at least in Bangalore, or maybe even in the other cities in India, I haven't seen a lot of Interceptors actually on the roads. You will see one every now and then, sure, but it's not as widespread or as rampant as the 350cc classics are. So there is that. The second good factor is it's a very high quality, vibration free, modern Royal Enfield. Fits the bill in every other way. No vibrations, all of it is gone. So a lot more refined and lot more 21st century. That's the second thing. The third point which I liked is it's got very nice accessories. I really liked some of their accessories. So they've got different type of crash guards, mirrors, including the touring mirror, the touring seats. So all of that is very nice, very modern. They don't exactly break the bank. They're all very affordable, very accessible. So accessories ecosystem which Royal Enfield has developed, I quite like it. The fourth point is the beautiful burble, as they call it. It's called the twin exhaust burble. That sound, very nice sound, a typical parallel twin sound which previously you could hear only in the Triumph bikes, but now it's available on the RE as well. And finally, in terms of the aesthetics, the twin clocks. I am always a huge fan of the twin clocks. Give me any bike with 2 clocks in front of me, I'm instantly a fan. So these are the 5 nice points that I could come up with. Anything you have, Vinay?
Yeah, I agree with all the points what you made, Pradeep. And primarily, those were the points which drove my decision as well to buy the Interceptor 650. Yes, very very valid points and totally in line with that. So now, having talked about the pros of the bike, let's talk about the cons, which are again very very subjective, guys, from our perspective and our ownership experience only, and which necessarily need not translate as a negative experience for you guys. So let's talk about those
We are not
points.
even professional reviewers. We are just two regular guys
Yeah.
giving our views on bikes. So hey, what do we even know, right? So
Yeah.
just take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, let's go ahead with the cons in terms of what we experienced.
Okay. So for me, I don't know. I know that it's supposed to give a mileage of about 22, 23, 24, whatever. But somehow, I always felt that I was constantly at a fuel station. I don't know why. I would fill up, I would ride around, and the next thing I knew that fuel pump started flashing, and next thing I knew I'm again at a fuel station. I got that feeling that I'm constantly at the fuel station a lot more than with the other bikes that I've owned. I don't know, this is a very silly thing to hear probably, but my experience. Again, I spoke about the things which I liked about the twin clocks, but again I felt it's a very dated 21st century proposition, in the sense that there wasn't even the time for me to see what time it was, and there was no gear shift indicator. I feel any bike in today's market should have all this, right? So that was something I didn't like. I think a few people are coming, so maybe shall we just go over that side?
Yeah.
And the ergonomics weren't the best. I really didn't like the ergonomics. The position of the foot pegs, I think most of you already know. It's very badly thought out design in terms of where the foot pegs are. Constantly keep getting in the way when you stop at a signal, or when you're trying to stop somewhere. Hurts your shins, gets you in the shins. Even the handle, I didn't really like it very much. It's literally, it's not very relaxing, it's not very committed, it's somewhere in between. Very cafe racer-esque handlebar position. I didn't really like it much. Pipes. Now this is a very subjective one. I know I'll probably get a lot of beating for saying this, but the fuel pipes, atrocious design in my opinion. Exhaust pipes,
yeah.
atrocious design. I don't know who. I just don't get it. Maybe it's my issue. So way too big, way too outward facing, way too upswept. And the consequence of this was, when I kept riding it in the city, and especially when I was trying to do tight sort of negotiations between two vehicles, I have on numerous occasions touched my pipes to other people who I'm trying to pass. So I never got it. And another consequence of the pipes being like this is that the pillion foot pegs are actually too high. My brother actually sat with me on one of the rides, and because of the sitting position, he almost suffered for a week. He kept complaining of body pain and thigh pain and pain in the hips, everything he kept complaining. And it's not a very family friendly bike. So I'm a person who likes to take my wife and kids on my motorcycle. So my wife and kids could never sit with that sort of foot peg position. So yeah, that was one. And the final two are very very subjective, and it's a bit of those points where I go a little crazy with the way I think, actually, probably. So one is, many times, so I had at least 3 bikes at that point when I actually owned the Interceptor. So many times what would happen is, I would take the keys to the Interceptor from my key hanger. I would take the elevator down to my basement with my bag and everything, waiting to go to work, to commute to work. And when I reached the basement and I came towards my bikes, I was like, just don't feel like riding this today. I would take the elevator back up to my flat. I would take the keys to another bike, and I would just leave the Interceptor and take the other bike. This kept happening so many times that I actually started questioning whether I'm really enjoying this bike anymore. And I had just bought the Bullet 500 around this time, and I found myself taking the Bullet 500 a lot of the times than the Interceptor. just because of what I naturally felt like riding, naturally what I felt inclined towards riding. So ultimately I had to take a call whether this bike is even making any sense for me, and it ultimately increasingly started to not make as much sense as it did before. So that was a critical point at which I had to decide. And added to that was another point when I constantly thought of myself as a 55-year-old guy. Did I see myself riding this bike? The answer didn't come back in the affirmative. So this was never a bike that I even felt myself keeping it in the long term. Whereas with the Bullet, probably yes. Even with the new Honda CB350, probably yes. And even with my 390 Adventure, if I'm fit enough at that age, probably yes, I see myself riding around that bike. This bike, somehow I never saw myself ride at that age. I know these last 2 points probably don't make much sense to many people, but these are my factors, and you asked me for my opinion, so here is my opinion. So that's my list of things, Vinay.
Yeah, Pradeep, thanks a lot for sharing your views here. And from my point of view, yes guys, the advantages what Pradeep spoke about the bike, pros, absolutely bang on. But with respect to the cons or the subjective things what we didn't like, were also very much in line, especially with respect to the seating position, handlebar position, and the overall ergonomics of the bike didn't really fit well for me as well. And the exhaust pipe, the looks are again very subjective. Many of you might like it, I did not like it personally. So that was the key factors why we sold our Interceptors. And yeah, these are purely our opinion, guys.
Ours only, guys.
Yeah.
We are very ignorant people.
Yeah.
We are not the Sagar Sheldakers of the world. We are not what's the other guy's name? The best reviewers in India.
Shumi
We
or
are
whatever.
not those people at all. We are very average motorcycle riders.
Yeah.
So take our views. These are not reviews. These are our views. So these are not reviews. It's a very badly thrown around word, the word review. So these are our views. So please bear that in mind.
Sure guys, and thanks a lot for watching, and let us know your thoughts, opinion, suggestions or any comments, and we'll be happy to hear from you guys. Thank you.
See you.
Bye bye.